Now, were you clean and sober then?
When I started, yes.
Okay.
When I finished, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There lies the story, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay. Well, you tell me where you'd like to start.
Well, I mean, I think part of, I could start in the middle a little bit.
Yeah.
Part of the woo-woo or the soulful part of Soul Cycle, I realized in my battle with addiction, so I could kind of use that motivation to share with others.
Yeah.
And I did relapse while I was at Soul Cycle, and it really impacted, I mean, of course, in my life in general. But,
Sure.
it was also the thing that catapulted me into where I'm at now also. So
Silver lining.
Addiction has been a really, unfortunately and fortunately, a strong teacher in my life. And I'm finally really grateful to be in a place where I'm done learning from that teacher.
You've learned that lesson.
Enough
You'd like
is
to
enough.
move on, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, on and off, I've spent more than half of my life, struggling with addiction. And from, alcohol to drugs to whatever.
Wasn't diet one of your things at one point?
Yeah, like a paleo lifestyle was definitely what I was
But you
all
were
about.
shredded. You went a little far on that end, right?
I did. When I started Soul Cycle, I was 210 and about 8% body fat.
Okay.
I was pretty stocky, big guy.
Yeah.
And this was also before the drugs came in. I lost so much weight, so much muscle. Was down to about 2% body fat and around
he was lean.
But also was down to like 180, 185, which was super lean for me.
Yeah.
I like to walk around 195 ideally at this point, but yeah, it was a big change. So much cardio and so much wear and tear.
Right.
And that's how it actually came back was I hurt my back, went to the doctor. This doctor knows I don't take narcotics. I've told him that many times. I got a Toradol shot in the back, and he gave me a prescription for what I thought was ibuprofen, which is the normal thing that he does for me. And as I was walking out to my car, I took a look, and I realized, well, there's more than one thing written on here. And I saw it, and it was a narcotic. It was for Norco.
Oh.
And I took one step back to his office to go tell him, and immediately turned around and went back to my car. This started an internal battle that lasted 3 days. I'm like, oh, don't do it. You're going to lose everything. Like really trying to convince myself not to do it, and eventually as I'm driving to the pharmacy, I'm trying to talk myself out of it.
Wow.
But I'm on autopilot at this point. I can't talk myself out of it and get the prescription filled. I hold on to the prescription for a couple more days. Don't do it. And finally, I didn't tell anyone. That was how I lost. I didn't share with anybody what was going on, and that got me. Took me out.
Yeah. And you were still teaching at this point.
I was still teaching at that point. And then it escalated so quick. I mean, I went from that to full-blown missing classes, no show, no call. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah.
And Soul Cycle was great. They really tried to support me in a lot of different ways, and I just couldn't receive it. I mean, what took me right back to where I was, 15 years ago in the matter of like 3 weeks.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Yeah, it was rough. And so I got let go at Soul Cycle. Ended up getting clean for a little bit after that, and they rehired me after I came clean and told them what was going on. And again, the great company for that, I think
they've seen it a few times.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting how prevalent addiction is in the fitness industry with trainers, especially, and instructors. And it's a lot more than I expected, to be honest. Yeah.
I noticed fitness is another form of addiction for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Myself included. I mean, it's like an addiction switch, but there's an energy that can be useful.
Yeah.
And it was for a while, but then if it becomes a mask and something you hide behind, that's where it becomes problematic again. And what I've learned from this teacher of 20 plus years of brutal, is that you can't just focus on, physical, mental, emotional. It has to be all of them at the same time, along with the spiritual component too. And I think that is what helps heal almost about anything, right, is really getting into optimal health in all 4 of those categories. And it just took me a really long time to learn that.
Yeah.
You know,
How old are you right now?
45.
Oh, okay. You look great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So do you guys?
Baby. He's a baby. He has a daughter that played volleyball against Quinn a couple times.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Jay Sarah, right?
Okay.
Yep.
Ellie. Yeah, I remember. I think she is 2 years older than Quinn, right?
She's 22 now.
Okay, yeah, she's my son's age.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, beautiful girl.
Yeah, they both used to ride at Soul Cycle too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. This is true. This is true. I love it. So what do you think was the what was your aha moment for turning it around?
You know, it was, that's a very, there's been a lot of aha
Okay. Hey, share them all.
you know, but the last one that really made the biggest impact was during a psychedelic experience, actually.
Okay.
You know, the way I look at addiction, it's very much a spiritual, you know, lack. In AA, they say it's a spiritual problem that requires a spiritual solution. And I had tried everything else that Western medicine had. I've been everywhere, all over the country, different places.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to be that way. I just didn't know how to not be that way. And so I started to think something was wrong with me. Other people are getting it. Why can't I? And finally, the opportunity to work with psychedelics came, and I took it. I was like, I'll do anything at this point. And what I recognized in that moment was my consciousness at the time was completely hijacked. Like addiction had me, and it was controlling me, and there was no way. Like it so much so there was nothing I could do, right? I couldn't outthink it. I couldn't outfeel it. I couldn't even outbehave it. It had me completely. And that created an opportunity for me to have an altered state of consciousness where I was able to see how that was actually playing out in real time. And it gave me a really deep understanding, and it showed me a way out. And the way out was through focusing on all 4 of these categories, but using like truth, this, you know, in this psychedelic experience, it was a sword. It was a sword of truth. And you have to wield this sword at all times, no matter what. And if you can do that, you can beat it.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to be brutally honest with yourself and with someone else. And what that looks like is like really meeting yourself where you're at. I had to meet myself, and like the truth was, I wasn't who I thought I was. That version had to die. And in the death process, there was like a rebirth, you know, and the rebirth is the aha moment I think you're talking about. And when I realized that, it was, I have to do everything different. Everything different. And what I learned by doing it that way, it's interesting. When you let go of everything you think you know about yourself and even your body, fitness, addiction, there's through lines that make it through, you know, like the actual truth, you know, because we have all this experience and then we're like supposed to forget it all. It's really challenging when you have a lot of experience to back up what you're, you know, feeling and thinking. And it was true. Like some of those things made it through, others didn't. An analogy I like to use is like the cold plunge. What do I know about the cold plunge? It's cold, and I'm going to be miserable, right?
Yeah.
So I avoided it. I never did it, right? Because that's what I knew. And so now I'm willing to do everything different, right? I go in the cold plunge and found out, it's cold. I'm miserable. This is awful.
Yeah.
And then I found out.
But you didn't die.
And I found out, wow, afterwards I feel incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like full of life and you know, I'm invigorated, you know, and it was like, wow, I felt younger and more energy. And so you know, what you know makes it through, but there's also a deeper truth that comes along with it that helps bring you to another understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you talk about the 4 different scenarios, right? That's really hard to do. It just in general, to be able to
and
have
then
the
factor
time.
in the addiction.
Yeah.
And then it's really, yeah.
Well, I'm even outside of an addiction,
That's
like
what I'm saying.
to take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Like, I won't lie, that's a massive challenge. I might be good at 1 or 2, sometimes maybe 3. A lot of times, none of them.
Right.
Yeah. It's a muscle, that we have to train.
Thought, okay, time's ticking. I'm old. I'm beat up. I'm not happy with myself. My son's mom and I are both very wounded people. We're probably not going to last long. There's no infidelity or anything that I know of. And then on top of all that, I'm just not happy with myself. I'm not happy with my job, even though the job's good. It's the people I'm around. We're just like very immoral people. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm not happy at home. I'm not happy at work, and I can't even exercise, which is my therapy. What do I do? It's like, all right, I need to see a psychiatrist. So I called a psychiatrist because I had suicidal ideation my whole life, suicidal depression, a large portion of my life, anxiety, and, untreated ADHD, which I'm not going to do pills. I did pills as a kid. I'm not going to do those. So I called up Kaiser Permanente, my health insurance company, and they said, it'll be 4 months before you could see a psychiatrist. This was right before COVID. Can you imagine the list of people that killed themselves because they weren't able to get help?
Yeah.
I got mad. I started driving through the tree nursery and the Kubota. I was like yelling, and I got on my Instagram and I saw a post from Sam Alvey, the person that I told you that I was supposed to emulate. And he sent a review of this hypnotherapist, and this hypnotherapist is offering a free consultation. And I was like, I messaged the guy. We set up a free consultation. I did a free consultation. He put me on a payment plan. And in 2 sessions, I couldn't feel anxiety or depression if I tried.
Wow.
That month, after doing just 4 sessions with him, I transfer from Temecula to Irvine, California, location, the largest location, the most lucrative location. And with no landscape design experience, I let go of my $70,000 salary, went pure commission. Think about that. No money saved in the bank, pure commission.
Yeah.
And I broke the sales record the first month, sold $316,000 worth of landscapes, made half my salary that month at $34,000 straight commission, learned about cryptocurrency through my hypnotherapist, invested into that. And after $5,000 of investment, a couple months, I made over $100,000.
Wow.
My first year of doing hypnotherapy at my job, I made $128,000. And then I made over $100,000 in cryptocurrency. So I went from being poor to like quick rich to me. And I'm like, how are you doing this? I'm like, hypnotherapy. And then I got back into training and fighting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
And so you're now certified in hypnotherapy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What's that look like when someone comes to see you to do that?
Zoom. So the amazing part about it is all done over Zoom. Okay. The consultation's free. So if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, a sales professional, I'll do a free consultation for you. Of course, I get everybody that wants to do a free one. So it's like it's a lot of selection, and you feel terrible doing that. But people are time wasters. There's a lot of people out there that want to, hey, come fix me for free. It's like, dude, go play in traffic.
Right.
See, you have better luck there.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to put in a little bit, like here's a law of life. If you invest in yourself, you become the best of yourself.
From that night on, I have slept through the night, all night, without an issue.
That's amazing.
Prior to that, it was never. I would wake up a couple times a night.
That's awesome.
Like that to me, right there, was worth
it.
Yeah.
the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I have not slept this well in a long time.
That's awesome. And you told me you had like some lucid dreams too, right?
Oh yeah, like crazy dreams,
Yeah.
especially like the first week.
Is that
Yeah.
right?
Like super vivid dreams.
That's awesome.
yeah.
You share with our audience?
I cannot. Inappropriate.
Damn it.
You share those kind of stories. I do.
Oh, come on. Come on.
It's funny because there has been, a lot of my patients do report that they either slept really well or they have been lucid dreaming. And they're like, why is that? And it's interesting because there's no clear studies that show that there's some sort of link. But, you can theorize that if you have a decrease in inflammation, right, in your body, and you're flooded with oxygen, then obviously you're going to have less brain fog. So your mind's going to be more clear. So that's my theory as to why people do lucid dream after an EBO2.
It was, especially the first week was super wild.
Yeah.
I still have them, but not every night. Like the first week, it was every night, this crazy deep sleep.
And you would remember.
Wild dream, and I could remember the dreams. Like wake up like, was that real?
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy. But since then, like I have, every once in a while, I'll still have them.
Was it like Selma Hayek was in your dream or something like that?
That would be a good one.
Yeah, that used to be one of my husband's favorites.
Oh my God.
Her and
husband has good taste.
Penelope Cruz too is the other one.
Oh yeah, she's cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been kind of like waiting for the night to where I don't, I wake up like.
You're still waiting for the night because I love it so much.
Can't wait to go to sleep. No, just waiting for the night, like where I actually wake up during the night. It's been pretty wild to me. That's been so consistent.
Well, maybe it's not going to go back.
Maybe
for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining.
Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was I wasn't. So I went into this. Dr. John told me about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. He's like, oh great, we're gonna get it done. I'm like, I purposely didn't look into it at all.
Okay.
At all?
At all. I just wanted to go experience. I'd heard about it years ago. I remember hearing about it years ago. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then he told me you were doing it. I'm like, oh, I got to come do it. But I purposely didn't look into it because I didn't want any expectation. I just wanted to go into it kind of blindly and then be able to like, okay, well, here's the differences that I feel since I've gone. Why?
Yeah.
And so I thought this would be a perfect time to kind of go through all that.
Yeah.
So obviously the sleep has been incredible. My energy's been phenomenal in regards to like I'm needing a lot less caffeine. My afternoon, like usually I'd like would have to come home, take a nap before football practice. That's all gone. My energy at my son's football practice from 6 to 8 every night is just off the charts. Like playful, fun, happy to be there. What is it? I mean, I think it's kind of obvious why energy would be so much better. We'll get all that crap out of there, but
yeah.
And why was his foamy? We need to.
Oh, that
We'll get to that next.
Too. Okay. And almost all the time, everyone's is foamy.
Is
that
right? Okay,
yeah, that's special.
You're not.
So yeah, as far as the energy goes, the ozone actually helps produce like endogenous NAD. It helps create NAD in your body, which of course it contributes to your ATP production, which everyone knows, which happens in the mitochondria, right?
Yeah.
At the cellular level. So it actually increases your energy. So I think that's why. Also, just with the decrease in inflammation, another thing that ozone does is it activates what's called the reactive oxygen species. ROS for short. But what that does is it triggers something called the NRF2 pathway. Now, the NRF2 pathway plays a really important role with decreasing inflammation in your body. So as far as the energy goes, the ROS triggers that NRF2 pathway, and that pathway plays a really important role in decreasing inflammation all throughout your body. And I think that coupled with the, exciting your NAD production, I think those both go hand in hand when it comes to, creating more energy in your body. So I think that's why people feel like they're performing better, especially athletes. They're, obviously when you're detoxing, when you're getting all the sludge out of your blood, you're just feeling more clean and you just feel more
changing your
productive.
Oil. Changing your oil.
Changing your oil. Yeah. I think Gary Brecka said that.
Oh, really?
I think that's how it, Gary
Brecka. That's what it sounds
in like a video, he was like getting EBO2 and he's like, oh yeah, guys, I'm changing my oil here. And I'm like, that's so clever.
Yeah.
Like
that's what it feels like.
Yeah. It's a cool way to like explain it.
Now, I'm wondering like, who discovered this? Who thought, hey, this sounds like a great idea. Let's try this.
Honestly,
you said it's been around for a long time.
Yes.
It
was a doctor.
Okay.
I don't know his name or much about.
Yeah. But how long have you been doing this treatment at Dr. John's?
We've actually just started a few months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Dr. John Laura actually had this EBO2 protocol years ago before, anyone even knew about it.
Okay.
He's like way ahead of its time. Yeah. I mean, he's amazing. And he does a lot of research and puts forth a lot of, things into his practice. But I just don't think there was like staff and enough trained staff to like actually do it. So when I came along, I'm all about wellness. I'm all about like just finding different ways to just optimize your health, right? So we just got to talking and And he told me he had it. And I was like, oh my God, like, let's bring it back. Like, I'll do it. Let's, so,
awesome.
So we just kind of brought it back. Yeah.
That's so cool. And how is it being, are a lot of people jumping on board?
Yeah. A lot of people that, have, chronic issues. So a lot of autoimmune disorders actually benefit. So if you have like Epstein-Barr, if you've got lupus, even people that suffer from like long haul COVID benefit a lot out of EBO2.
Wow.
Yeah.
So explain to us how it's done. I mean, Brad was just like, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I said, can you read? He's like, no, my arms. Yeah. So you just chill.
So you're just chilling for about 45 to 60 minutes.
Okay.
Once it's a closed system and I start the pulling of your blood, that at that point it's about 45 to 60 minutes. So what you do is you come in, I gain 2 IV lines to access on both arms. So one's going to be pulling blood out. The other one is going to be reinfusing blood back in. And that's really the only time where you feel discomfort is just the poking, right? I mean,
it's like
you mean just like a blood draw poke, or is it a little more than that? It feels a little more like.
It reminded me when I donate blood.
Oh,
yeah.
So it feels like that's what it reminded me of. So it's just like the poke you get when you donate blood.
Yeah.
And it's not bad.
Yeah. Cause it is a needle,
Sure.
So you're guiding the needle in, to put the catheter in. And then once that's done, you start getting your blood pulled. And it's about, I want to say around 250 milliliters of blood outside of your body, at a given time.
Okay. Is that
way,
a lot? I don't know.
It's not much, no.
Okay.
Obviously, we want to do it
If the zombie
safely.
apocalypse came at that moment and he needed to unplug immediately, would he die? Would he?
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Okay.
He'll be fine.
I'm just curious.
That's a great question.
Thank you.
A great question.
Thank you.
That's a great question.
It was.
You want to know something funny?
What?
So I had all these questions that I laid out and I sent them over to Maya just so in case you were prepared. You're asking all of them.
About the zombie
great.
apocalypse.
No, I didn't know. There was no zombie apocalypse. But up to that point, I'm like, that one's off. That one's off. That one's off.
Yeah, I'm just good like that, Brad.
I love it. So once the blood starts getting pulled out, it goes through a filter. It's a medical grade filter. It's actually a dialysis filter.
Oh, wow.
But people get it confused. So we're not doing dialysis because dialysis is we're pulling out excess fluid. We're pulling out electrolytes like potassium. We're pulling out things that, the patient doesn't need, but the kidneys can't excrete out, right? Because that's people with dialysis, right? Because when your kidneys stops functioning, that's when you need a machine to do it.
Right.
But with EBO2, even though it's the same filter, what we do is we turn it upside down. And what that does is it actually catches all of your good stuff that we want in you. So your white blood cells, your plasma, your nutrients, things like that. We're keeping that in. We're not losing it. So that's really the difference.
Wow.
People are asking about the filter because I knew it was a kidney dialysis filter, but you flipped it upside down. I could not remember why.
Yes. And that's why, because we want to keep all that, right? So it goes through that filter. And then once it goes through that filter, it enters the ozone machine. So that's where you're getting flooded with oxygen. You're getting flooded with ozone. And the cool thing about ozone is if given in safe doses, which is what it does, it actually produces something called nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is cardioprotective in nature. So it actually is really good for your heart health. So it vasodilates your blood vessels. So it's really good for like hypertension, people with high blood pressure. It actually
mine
protects.
did come down a little bit.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah,
It protects against, any risk of you having stroke, and heart attacks, things like that. So it's ozonated. And then once it's ozonated, the last step that it goes through before it re-enters your body is it goes through what's called a photobiomodulator. So that's the light therapy.
All these big words.
But I'll explain.
Yes.
So that's a light device. So the light, it comes in, green light, red light, purple light, UVA, UVC, and they all do different things.
Okay.
So the red, helps with inflammation. The green has antimicrobial properties. The blue has antimicrobial properties. The green has antiviral, antifungal.
Wow.
So even if you're like sick and you feel your vitals are stable, you can go get it, and it's like it can kind of clean out all those viral toxins. Yeah.
So here's a stupid question, or maybe not. No stupid.
No
such
question is
thing.
stupid.
That's right. Teacher, did you have a teacher that said that? I definitely
Yeah.
did. So I'm envisioning his arms are out.
Yep.
One's pulling, what's whipping through these machines, these filters, and then is it literally like a big circle?
Yeah, pretty much.
So
right?
it's coming out and going pretty much directly back
directly
in.
back in.
Okay,
Yep.
so
But I like it. They cross the line so you can see the change in color.
oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us
thought that
about
was
that.
cool.
What color were you when
It's just
coming out?
the blood coming out. It just looks darker, and the blood
Yeah,
going back in is
dark.
like a much brighter red.
Yeah, like a crimson red.
Yeah, it's very drastically different.
You could see it. Yeah, you could see like the.
So that's
the
right
blood
in front of
coming-
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like laying there, just right there. You can.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And tell us about the sludgy stuff. I'm so fascinated by that.
Yeah, so it's super cool to just see it. So the sludge, right, that comes out is really your lipids, so your
Okay.
fats that get stuck in, your inflammatory particles, so that frothy
Yes.
like substance that you were
Yes.
talking about. So that's actually inflammation.
This is the
That's
this is the perfect time to put the picture of,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do
what they extract.
Yeah.
So that
Frothy.
so all that froth that
Look like
sits
a
on
beer
top
bread.
of the fluid is inflammatory proteins.
And everybody has that, I'm sure.
Everybody, almost everyone.
Have you ever seen a
Yeah.
really crazy amount?
I have actually.
And you were like,
have. Yeah. That's when I'm like, all right, let's switch up your lifestyle and diet and exercise.
I'm glad we didn't have the conversation. I was like, wait.
Yours wasn't too bad. No. But
That's just wild, though, when you think that there is a visual image that shows you you're going down the wrong path.
Well, I was amazed how much stuff it filtered out.
oh yeah.
Does it get less the more you go?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
should.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Yes.
In
yeah.
theory.
Yeah. As long as you're like doing things right, you have healthy habits, you know,
It
and
depends
you're not
on how
like,
many 7-Eleven stops you make.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, my experience was, I was at that breaking point.
Like
Sure.
what she's talking about.
Yeah, I had no more time in the day, and I
Yeah.
was not getting ahead, and I was getting overwhelmed and just irritable and frustrated. And I mean, literally, I was getting up at 5, leaving the house at 5:30, going all day long, not getting home till 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and I'm just feeling horrible,
Yeah.
feeling like I'm not, being productive at all. Totally gave up on myself. Wasn't doing anything for myself, and those days. And that was the first thing she caught on. She's like, "You got to slow down." She's like, seriously, and like, you got to slow down.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't have time. She goes, no, you got to make time.
I don't have time to slow down.
It's like, no, you
Yeah.
this is coming through hard. Like, you got to slow down. Like,
Yeah.
you have lost connection with yourself. Your head's down in the physical world, and you're just going. You've completely disconnected from your spiritual world, and that's a big thing for you.
Yeah.
And you are ignoring it. You're so busy, you don't see it. Like, you have to slow down.
Yeah.
And she even challenged me. She's like, you need to like take a week off. Like, you just got to take time off, and it's gonna suck, and you're gonna have withdrawals, because I was highly addicted to the norepinephrine of just to go,
Yeah.
and the caffeine and all the stuff. And the first few days sucked.
Did they?
Oh, it was super hard. I was really exhausted, super tired.
Did you sleep a whole lot?
A ton.
Good for you.
What I loved about this past week was that I didn't set an alarm clock. I just woke up when I woke up.
Nice.
It's really good.
Yeah, and it's like amazing how much better I feel at the end of the week. And I still did stuff. I
Yeah.
still had stuff to catch up on.
Yeah.
But what's funny is I came home, and literally the day before, one of our members had given me a book by Joe Dispenza, as I say his name.
Joe Dispenza, yeah.
Yeah, Joe Dispenza. You got to read this book. I heard a podcast, or I thought of you, and I didn't start reading it. And then, Mary has her session. I'm just gonna start reading this book. So when I took my son to Vegas, I started reading the book. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I had coffee with a good friend. He's like, I was thinking about you. Here's this guy I want you to start listening to. Here's this book you should read.
Not him, too.
It's the same exact one. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
So I spent all week, I would wake up, first thing I do would, meditate and kind of reconnect with my spiritual world. And
You have a brightness to your eyes.
it's
back.
I realize how important that is to me,
Yeah.
and I completely cut it off. Like, I just stopped. I've been riding my exercise bike, but haven't gone and lifted weights or anything.
Yeah.
Just my whole focus was, okay, I'm going to reconnect with my spiritual world after my session with Mary, and it's been I'm a lot happier.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting back, I'm like, what was I going so hard for? Like, what am I trying to accomplish?
That's the thing.
I can't even tell you what the whole goal was of what I was literally just trying to survive the day with no, and so I spent a lot of time like repurposing my life and what's important and how do I want things to be. And I mean, I thank you for that.
That's so nice.
I know, isn't that great?
I am so glad when people actually like integrate the session and actually take what is being reflected back to them from them. Like I am literally only mirroring what they on a different level are communicating. And so I actually like literally said this today to someone I saw earlier. Because sometimes people, like, especially if they book with me several times, which can happen, and I don't, it's not that I'm not attached to how many times people come. It's like sometimes it's one and never again, and sometimes it's a lot. It just depends on what that person, because it's on them.
Probably.
You know,
Sure.
they're the ones booking. And sometimes people can kind of just do things just to do things, especially if they have the means to do it. So they're not.
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
They're kind of just not maybe honoring it, which is really just they're not honoring themselves.
Right.
I'm like, I'm good, but if you're gonna treat yourself in this way and just be sort of like ignorant to parts of you that are communicating to me, then we need to have another conversation, you know, like maybe book less or maybe like take some time. Cause then cause it's all an exchange. So if there's an unhealthy dependency or something that I'm sensing, we're going to have to call that out. And basically there's all types of ways that people's, soul communicates, and people that they're connected with on the other side or on earth. And they are given very specific directions. Like you guys both know, I mean, you get specific information that's coming through from the ether or whatever. And when people are kind of just that in and out, that attention span thing, that's when I see, that's where I believe a lot of this disconnection from spirit comes from, because if we can just reclaim that aspect of ourselves, we're not only doing a huge service for ourselves, but for a lot of other people. Because like for you guys, it's of the utmost importance for everybody, but because so many people can plug into you guys as a lifeline in so many ways and have been for so long, there gets a point where like those people are like, I can't even get out of bed. Like I can't even, and I've been helping all these people. And that's actually the best thing that can be happening, because it just means that you're on the cusp of a huge, not only breakthrough, but the next upgraded version of yourself, because it's not even like a better version or like I was so much worse before. It's like, I believe that we're all as humans upgrading on a much larger collective level, spiritually. And I definitely see that. Like we're entering into a phase of, some people are calling it the new human, where we're integrating actually higher spiritual aspects of ourselves into the earth plane and integrating it into our day-to-day, into our jobs. And you guys will see, because I've been seeing it firsthand the last several years, people get hit with light from the inside out, and it can feel really dark at first because the light is exposing everything that hasn't been conscious. So you can feel like you're in this cave of unconsciousness, like aspects of self that have been neglected or ignored or not tended to, which is why so often in sessions, my higher self will take me back in someone's timeline, and I'll just like see things like a movie and like specific ages, and their soul is just showing that, because it's like, if we can just revisit this, like their higher awareness will reflect on it and their consciousness will expand. So, I mean, this all sounds really fancy and complicated, but it's just a way to describe it so people can kind of understand it. Because I think a lot of this type of work can also be misunderstood or even like disrespected.
Yeah. Have you had, you mentioned some people that perhaps you've had that maybe are addicted to the, I see Mary weekly or whatever it is, that may not be actually doing the work. And by that, I mean integrating what you have seen, suggested, mirrored.
Yeah.
I would think that would be frustrating in some ways for you.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll see like one pattern I see is like I can tell when someone just isn't listening. Like they're kind of just dissociated, which is so common now, you know, like I think so, like, and I call it what is the term? Like auditory receptors, you know, like we have these physical ears and we have a brain, but we also have like spiritual ears, and like we have either our hearing is open and receptive or it's not. And because our universe is created by intention, like thought, and thought travels faster than the speed of light. So what that means is that like our thoughts are creating reality. And I don't study Joe Dispenza's work, but I have so many clients that are like, do you read Joe Dispenza's things or do his meditations or whatever? Because there's so much crossover. But I do think certain people can really benefit from his work because he really breaks it down with the science from what I understand. But people, if I'm noticing that they're just not listening, then I take that as my responsibility to directly address that, which is not easy.
I'm sure.
You know, it's like it's such an interesting thing because it's like I'm very sensitive and I'm very gentle with people. I like really put a lot of importance on that, because if you're speaking to parts of a person that are highly neglected or haven't been seen for 40 years, 20 years, whatever the number is, those parts are going to be terrified. They're also going to be highly triggered. They may also be parts that suffered trauma. So there's PTSD. So you can imagine the dissociation is so much deeper. So like you kind of have to almost talk to a child basically, and not like your baby talking, but just the frequency of like, you know, I'm noticing that when you're in sessions or booking, like things are kind of coming in and out. Like I can actually visually see it. And that's for them to do the work to get out of that detached, dissociated place, which does not have to be done alone. There's many different ways you can do it. Obviously, like I have my way of approaching that. But people can also get highly triggered. I generally actually don't have that issue with people like getting highly triggered, or like I've never had a session where it was like scary or freaky or.
You had said something in mine, and I don't know if that's just something that you don't go down the path of like if you see or feel something that is really awful, you don't. I'm trying to remember how you worded that.
Yeah, so like with the past, present, future piece, like I definitely see future possibilities, which in this space of consciousness, they talk about how in the 0 point field, which is our heart space, when we can really get present and centered, which is why like for Brad, I was like, if you can just take some rest, you can return to your heart, you can return to yourself, whatever the term that would resonate for you most. Because basically like with the past, present, future, the future has infinite possibilities and probabilities, which means that sometimes if I see someone, there's like, it's almost like seeing an intersection and seeing like up to 4 or maybe more, but sometimes it's just 1 or 2 directions. One that they're heading, and then maybe a couple more possibilities. And where I focus is into the present, because I trust the higher forces so much to take care of the individual that I just do my job, which is because believe me, they like higher dimensional information is very much like, it's so hard for humans to grasp the vast intelligence that we are swimming in. So I think people can get excited about seeing something and they want to deliver it to clients, whatever. And there's people that do these types of things in all different ways. But I know for me that the miracles can really take place if you help someone return home, which is into the present.
That's the great thing about this, right? People think that it's a feeling or a mood. I've got to feel confident before I actually do something. And they've got it backwards. Confidence comes from action. You've got to step in and act, and confidence comes from that. Because confidence comes on the back end of competence. But to get competence, you've got to move, right? You've got to actually do something.
Yeah. Where do people struggle the most with confidence? Is it that, like just misunderstanding what it is?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And there are blockers that certainly get in the way. Perfectionism, an overactive inner critic. That's my one. Then just the fear of fear, right? They're just terrified all of the time. The worriers, the natural worriers. And then you've got this bit of a gap between your ability. So it's a skills gap, as it were. But that's going to happen because you got to start somewhere. Right. And starting, you're not going to have confidence because
it's scary.
Yeah. Right. And so you've got to work through that to get to the end part of it.
Gotcha. So when you're coaching people on confidence, what are some of the strategies you give them?
First of all, we got to understand that inner critic. What's going on what's going on the inside?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that get in the way? And understanding you've got to see that, notice it before you can move on, because what happens, right? The brain is wired for survival. It keeps us safe.
You were just saying that last week.
Yeah, that's it. It is. It's our number one job is to keep us alive. Yeah. And so it does that by keeping us in our comfort zone and keeping us safe, keeping us doing what we always do. But to step outside of that, right, to do something new, you go through this little fear zone, and the fear zone is all up in the mind, and it's going to say to you, don't do it. You can't do that. You can't be here. You can't do this. Coming on this podcast, this is a great example, right? I've never done this before in a studio. Really? Yeah, I've never done it in a studio before. And so putting headphones on, I'm sitting here going, oh God, am I going to muck this up? That's my inner critic. Sure. But it's then seeing it, noticing it, right? I can see it, I notice it, and then I name it. Oh, there's that not good enough story again. It's coming back. I hear you. Thank you for trying to protect me. But one of my values is growth, so I'm going to step into this anyway.
Love that.
Yeah. Values. How does that play into it? That's a new twist.
The values gives you a compass in life, right? So one of the issues with confidence is people set goals and they don't always achieve them. And so if you don't achieve your goal, then there's a gap between who you think you are, right, and who you actually are. And people play a lot in that going, well, I'm not good enough, right? But values keeps you on track, keeps you a compass. So if my value is growth and perseverance and service, I can lean on those values to step me beyond the fear zone, that little monkey in my mind that says, this is scary, don't do it. My values, I go, no, I'm going to attach myself to that value, and it keeps me going through the fear zone. That's why.
Yeah. When you spoke to my daughter's volleyball club, we're in this realm of topic. You said something that I thought was really interesting. I see this be a big issue, was fear of alienation from the tribe.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those things, like when we're talking survival mode, that one I was like, whoa, there needs to be a lot more emphasis on that. Like embarrassment, judgment, being alienated or, excluded from the tribe. How does that play into it?
It's huge. So I was at Mater Dei High School girls soccer team today. I did the same presentation to them. And I talked to them, why is it that in a classroom situation, people don't put their hands up and answer questions? And it's, well, people might think I'm dumb. I might give the wrong answer. People might judge me for what I'm saying. And therefore, I'm going to stay in my comfort zone. And I'm not going to put my hand up and I'm not going to say anything. Because as soon as we get kicked out of our little tribe, the fight, flight, or freeze system comes into place, and the brain literally will look at that and go, that might kill you. Because back in the day when we were in tribes, it would have killed you. And we haven't lost that. That's still in there.
Yeah.
And so we don't want to be alienated, and we don't want to be alone, and we don't want to be pushed out. So we do everything that we can to fit in. And that's one of the big problems with kids today. especially with social media.
Yeah.
They do everything they can to fit in, which is actually holding them back. I love to say this to kids. It's actually holding you back from standing out. And as an athlete, we want outstanding athletes.
Yeah. I hear our high school coaches talk about that a lot. That's a big struggle they have, is the kids are so afraid to do anything that separates them from the group or makes them stand out from the group, that they'll hold themselves back. I even talked to some strength coaches that work with a lot of high school athletes where they'll see that is a kid who's better than the other ones he's training with will actually hold themselves back in those trainings to make sure that he doesn't make the other kids look bad or more superior. They see a lot of that.
Yeah. And that actually happens in family dynamics as well, by the way. So a kid could be great, the better kid in sports, for instance, right? But the parents will say, you don't want to outshine your younger sister because you're going to make her feel bad or whatever. And so they actually diminish their light, as it were, to make sure they don't outshine their siblings.
Interesting. Versus finding something the sibling is great at. And
Yeah. Because we want everyone on an even playing field, right?
yeah.
No one can stand out in that situation. It's weird.
Interesting. What are some? So I see a lot of people struggle with confidence when they're like getting in front of a speaking engagement or a presentation at work or before a game. Are there any tools, like quick tools you could share that people could use to help breed a little more confidence before they put themselves out there?
Well, a lot of it is you got to practice the tools first, obviously, because you can't just step in and go, oh, magically confidence is here. But a lot of it is taking that first deep breath, right? Tuning into the body and where it's at. So that first deep breath will regulate the nervous system. You obviously know about all of that. And so we've got to regulate that through a breath. But then it's actually, again, tapping into the value of why you are there. Why does this speaking gig, why does this soccer game, why does this match, what is it? Why is that important to you? And what we try and do, we've been taught to do, is push the negative emotions away, like fear. Don't want fear, so let's push it away. When really, what is fear there trying to do?
Protect you.
Protect you. So instead of actually pushing it away like an enemy, we want to actually accept it and embrace it and sit with it. And then when we embrace it and accept it and give it space and room, we allow it to be in our body and tell us, hey, I just want to protect you and this sounds dangerous. Attach your value to it. This is why this is not dangerous. I allow you to be here, fear, right? And be part of this. And fear is a great emotion to tap into because it makes you stronger, faster, and more focused. Because that's what fear is all about.
Yeah, they talk about the feeling of the nerves and like the nauseousness and how people like want to push it away, but you actually got to tap into it because that's your body trying to step up to be great.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah. But people aren't taught how to do that, right? So they're told nerves are not a good thing, anxiety is not a good thing. Now, we don't want to live in it because if we live in it, it will cause all sorts of problems. But when it comes up, we want to notice it, name it, tap into it, and say, thank you for being here because you're going to make me better today because of this.
When you say name it, what do you mean? Like, give me an example. Like, let's say I'm going into, we'll use sports because that's easy. I'm about to play in a football game. The nerves are there. I'm feeling nauseous. I'm kind of scared. Part of me is saying like, maybe I should fake an injury. I got to check out. I can't handle that. I mean, all that, you go through all that stuff. I don't have what it takes. I'm going to screw things up today.
Yeah. So you notice the thought, you notice the sensation in your body, and then you name it as part of the story that's been there before. Oh, this is that not good enough story.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right, which has been protecting me all of these years. So what story is it? I can't do it. I'm not good enough. Whatever story that is, name it into that story. And then by naming it into that story, that's what gives it the space and allows it to live in there. Oh, cool. This is excellent. You're here. Thank you.
Yeah.
You could go as far as naming it. I've actually named my inner critic and I call it Ivan.
Oh, right? I like that.
Yeah. My name is Ivan and I can sense when he's up and I'm like, okay, Ivan, I hear you. Thank you for being here today.
The inner critic is very loud. That is for sure. I have a question. I love speaking.
Yes, she does.
I was the one that got poor citizenship grades in school all the time. Couldn't shut me up. And now
Still
it's
can't.
true. Still cannot. Hijacked his podcast and
Welcome to the Raquel Show.
yeah. Well, I haven't said much yet. Have you noticed? I've been very demure. But I teach fitness classes and yoga classes, and I love that. And even if I go to a new place, I don't really get nervous. I just kind of. So I wonder why that is.
It's a good question, and
It's not that I don't have an inner critic.
Right.
I really do.
Yeah.
But not around that for some reason.
So some people can step into that naturally, right? You've got to figure out what is your comfort zone. And if that stepping on stage is your comfort zone, then that could be it. I would challenge you and say, are there any sensations in there? Because there's going to be some.
For sure. If I am at a new location, a new spot that they don't know me, then I really I can feel that adrenaline.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going to show you. You're looking at me like you're not getting what you paid for. You just wait.
So, and that's it. So you've got to ask then, what is that sensation trying to tell you?